Have you ever been stuck in a YouTube rabbit hole and found something truly disturbing? This happened to me the other night when I was scrolling on YouTube because I couldn't sleep. I still have nightmares. At first it seemed normal until I saw it. It was a YouTube channel with just 3 letters for its name, and the creator of it was just so ugly. Anyways, hello everyone, my name is Poi. I've spent many hours researching the weird, creepy, and obscure side of YouTube and have come up with this unsettling iceberg. I'll start with the strange and take you down to the most disturbing. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this, follow my Instagram, join the Discord, and I'm making a Patreon with exclusive videos, so join that too if you can. Or just become a member on YouTube, you get the exact same perks. Alright, Layer 1, the Peanut Vendor. In 1933, Lin Lai, an animator and artist known for his experimental works, released The Peanut Vendor Complete Director's Cut, an animation that unsettled anyone who dared to watch it. Featuring a 2-foot-tall monkey puppet singing and dancing to Red Nickel's Peanut Vendor, audiences were creeped out for 2 reasons. 1, the puppet was grotesque, featuring unnerving large eyes, elongated arms, and a clown-like grin. 2, the puppet's jerky movements, including dancing with its tail, made the video quite off-putting. At the time, Lai was struggling to secure funding for larger projects, so he experimented with puppet animation. Ironically, his film turned out to be more of a nightmarish oddity instead of the charming animation he'd hoped for. But don't get me wrong, the puppet was technically impressive for the early 1930s. Besides being impressively tall, it had bolted, movable joints and 50 interchangeable mouths to convey the singing. The puppet also made some impressive movements as they were based on Lai's wife, a prize-winning Roomba dancer. Sadly, like Lai's previous projects, The Peanut Vendor didn't achieve any financial success. Instead, it remains an unsettling memory in the world of vintage art. Malice in Wonderland. If there's a video that completely caught me off guard, it's Vince Collins' 1982 Malice in Wonderland. While the name already suggests something's off, the actual video pushes things further, depicting a nightmarish journey through a distorted version of Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. Considered one of the most bizarre interpretations of the classic tale, the 4-minute video starts harmlessly enough with credits before things go completely odd. First, we see a jet-propelled white rabbit flying through a strange landscape before ending up in an even stranger destination, the vulva of a woman and eventually a surreal wonderland. But if you think that's extreme, think again. The visuals turn chaotic, with characters and objects quickly morphing, turning inside out and changing identities at warp speed. And while familiar characters like the Queen, the Caterpillar, and Alice appear, they're rendered in weird and highly sexualized forms. If you manage to sit through the whole video as I did, you'll definitely figure out what's behind the film's disturbing tone, the overtly sexual symbols and unsettling transformations. As a nod to Carol's story, the video ends with Alice saying, "Who has had such a curious dream?" Despite its disturbing nature, Malice in Wonderland has been hailed for its innovative use of animation techniques to push the limits of visual storytelling. By exploring the themes of identity, transformation, and sexuality through abstract and shocking visuals, the film showcases the potential of animation to highlight what live-action films might struggle to show. Cigarette warning. If anti-smoking commercials haven't convinced you to put the cigarettes down, this disturbing animated video just might. The video itself, which was uploaded to the YouTube channel Ben Wheel, is just 26 seconds long. Trust me though, that's plenty of time to have you feeling truly terrified, smoker or not. Okay, so the video shows this human-like monster head with some pretty grotesque warts on the sides of his face, hollowed out eyes, and a mouth that will have you cringing and clutching the edge of your sofa as the head comes closer and closer and closer and boom! That screamer got me too, guys, I'm sorry. Even though the cigarette warning was uploaded to YouTube more than 10 years ago, it is still one of the creepiest videos you'll come across. probably because it's an actual warning on the dangers of smoking. The creator, Ben Wheel, is no stranger to using horror animations to pass across an important message, and he has some genuinely weird videos on his channel, like this video where a vase takes over the body of a young girl, which many people have interpreted as cancer taking over the human body. Yeah, let's just say his channel is not for the faint of heart. 01A51CD0. Yes, this is actually the name of this YouTube channel, as cryptic as the content you're about to see. Now, I have to admit that this channel is, without a doubt, one of the most unsettling I've come across. Even before you click on a video, the thumbnail tells you that what you're about to watch is going to be disturbing. And then there's the video titles, which at first look like some cryptic alien language, until you flip your screen and realize it's actually upside down text. Mostly it is just one-word titles like "You did well," "Sign," or "Serenity." Yeah, there's nothing serene about any of this though. The videos themselves appear random and often feature super creepy abstract footage, or imagery with eerie sounds, music, or static, that leaves you with an uneasiness way after you stop scrolling. It almost feels like you're watching surveillance footage of a serial killer. Perhaps even more unnerving is the fact that there haven't been any activity on the channel for the last 3 years. The owner of 01A51CD0 had disappeared for 2 years previously before returning 3 years ago, posting a bunch of weirder content and then disappearing again. Before that, he had not posted for 8 years. The channel has since developed a sort of cult following of over 50,000 subscribers that awaits the return of its owner, because he always comes back. Now, I did a little digging to try to understand what 01A51CD0 is all about, and I found that the channel is apparently linked to gaming YouTuber Blame Truth. Blame Truth is known for creating an ARG, a game that features interactive narratives that use real-world platforms, in this case YouTube, to intrigue and engage viewers in solving mysteries. Jimmy Neutron Happy Family Hour. No one or nothing will prepare you for this entry's absurdity, especially if you are familiar with the original, Nickelodeon's The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. Created by YouTuber Seinfeld Spitstain and uploaded on August 14th, 2013. This parody has crude visuals and explores even cruder themes. Its poorly rendered 3D animation results in blocky and stiff characters, unlike those from the original show. But if you can stomach that, the video's unsettling and nonsensical series of events will definitely get you. It all starts with Jimmy's mom, Judy, telling Jimmy that she's going to make him a delicious meal, and then getting unalived by Jimmy's dad, Hugh, shortly after. With the gun in his hands, Hugh then announces that Judy is dead and casually suggests that they order pizza for dinner. A seemingly unbothered Jimmy calls to make the order, after which Hugh insists on father-son bonding, with the gun still in his hand. I know, you can put up with that, but watch what happens when the pizza arrives.
Here's your pizza.
The pizza is aggressive.
Oh shit.
Just another day in the life of Jimmy Neutron.
Just another day in the life of Jimmy Neutron. I don't know about you, but that remark creeps me out every time. And I'm not the only one that's been troubled by this video, even though the uploader's description simply reads, "inspired by a dream I had." Don't you mean nightmare? This YouTube user's comment pretty much sums up what everyone thinks after watching this video. Surprisingly, all this creepiness is packed in just 1 minute and 6 seconds. Talk about bite-sized terror. Pickle surprise. Sometimes something hits you so hard in the face that you have nothing to say. That's exactly what happened to me when I came across this 2-minute surreal spoof of a cooking show featuring early appearances of drag queens like RuPaul and Lady Bunny. In this 1989 video, the characters are making a sandwich. The action is led by a humanoid pickle character who acts like an elf, bringing a secret ingredient to the recipe. From here on, the narrative is minimal and intentionally bizarre. The pickle character prepares a sandwich and then introduces the pickle surprise, the unexpected and strange twist of the video. Yeah, that was confusing, but what I know for sure is the video style perfectly evokes the kitschy, low-budget feel of 1980s television, with exaggerated performances and a deliberately odd atmosphere. Rumor Mill. Uploaded on YouTube on September 1st, 2010 by Uncle Tom 45044, this video is designed to unsettle and confuse you, and it does this so easily thanks to its many subplots, character interactions, and somewhat unsettling atmosphere. In the video, a character known as Lammy goes to Ugly Grace's bar to look for Zen. Lammy says her greetings to Ugly Grace herself, who immediately cautions Lammy against fighting in her bar. The conversation implies that Lammy often fights on the premises, but instead of directly responding to the statement, Lammy says that Ugly Grace's bar is a rumor mill. Ugly Grace agrees with Lammy's claim, saying that someone can find out more at the bar than on Facebook. Lammy then reveals that she's been searching for Zen, only for Ugly Grace to deliver shocking news. Zen is getting married to Lammy's brother, Paul. Lammy is shocked, not by the news of the marriage, but by the fact that Paul is marrying Zen, a girl of questionable character. At this point, Ugly Grace cuts in and says that Zen is nothing like that. Ugly Grace proceeds to tell Lammy that Paul is deceiving Zen by not disclosing his relationship to Lammy. The video then features a brief, somewhat absurd interlude about free drinks for hoes, with a cross-dressed character clarifying that they are a gay hoe. And to test the cross-dresser's claim, Ugly Grace administers a strange test.
I'm a gay hoe.
Do this. And this.
Like this?
Okay, come on. I'll fix you a free drink.
The scene then shifts to Lammy, who encounters Boney, who is now running a beauty shop after quitting her job with a professor. Lammy seeks a makeover, expressing the need for reinvention. And yeah, that's the end. Cat Ghost. Cat Ghost is a fairly popular YouTube channel that revolves around 3 animated characters: a ghost, a cat, and a hedgehog. The series follows these 3 main characters through dark and mystery-filled storylines, with some lighthearted moments. The web series was created by animator Tony Kryknight and runs from episodes 1 to 13. Each episode has a cryptic one-word title like confrontation, judgment, or acceptance, and comes with a downloadable game for viewers looking for a more interactive storytelling experience. And it's not just the visuals that get a little dark. The dialogue between the characters, coupled with creepy background music, will have you questioning what you're actually watching. Pumpkin visits Good Burger. Pumpkin Visits Good Burger is a really weird animation video created by Cyber8 in July 2017. It begins with Pumpkin walking into Good Burger. If you don't know Good Burger, it is an old burger joint that is the central point of the 1997 Nickelodeon teen comedy Good Burger. Once inside the burger joint, Pumpkin announces that he's hungry and Ed, the cashier, asks if he can take Pumpkin's order. After what seems like forever, Pumpkin orders the hamburger. However, Ed's response is not exactly what you'd expect, and the video goes downhill into the weird and bizarre from there. Despite Pumpkin's calm demeanor, Ed continues to act bizarrely, even going as far as trying to grab Pumpkin's burger and doing a weird dance on the countertop. However, Pumpkin eats his meal for the next 2 hours unbothered by Ed's weird behavior, and describes the food as fantastic before walking out. Ed, however, acts strange as usual, and the video skips to weird commentary about Pumpkin's and Ed's life after the strange visit. I Am Your Grandma. I Am Your Grandma is supposedly a gift by YouTuber Jillian Mayer for her future unborn grandchildren. From that description, you're probably thinking of a cute, heartfelt video that her grandkids will watch fondly on Thanksgiving or Christmas. However, the video couldn't be further from that. After a short introduction where Mayer says that one day she will have a baby, the video switches to her singing about a grandma while wearing weird costumes and makeup. Now, I have to warn you, the video gets pretty gross and uncomfortable as you continue to watch it, with what I presume to be Mayer wearing a creepy newborn's mask in some shots. At some point in the video, Mayer says that she will be dead by the time her grandchildren are born, and she wishes she could have met them. Also, the background music can only be described as distorted and gets more uncomfortable to listen to as the video progresses. Definitely not the kind of gift that you'd want to give your grandchildren. Dr. Zabrowski. Dr. Zabrowski is another What Did I Just Watch video that definitely deserves to be on this list. And rightfully so, because this feels like a weird, hypnotic dream that you can't wake up from, rather than what it's supposed to be, a music video. The video features what I would only assume is Dr. Zabrowski dancing and singing in a swirly black and white background. The music itself is offbeat and changes tempo randomly in the video, and the singing, well... This absurd video was uploaded to Vin Siemens' YouTube channel, a channel that creates absurdist and escapist characters and scenarios purely for entertainment. I'm pretty sure there are some other pretty disturbing videos here. Mask Shane Piano. Mask Shane Piano is a pretty odd video that was first uploaded to the Alan Terwilliger YouTube channel in the March of 2012. The channel didn't and still doesn't have much of a following, and so no one really paid attention to it. At least that was until 2018 when it started blowing up a little bit. The video provides no context of what's actually happening and goes straight into showing us a person playing the piano. The camera slowly moves to his face and we see that the guy's face is fully covered by what appears to be a cast. The most logical explanation for the video is that the guy is showing off his skill of playing the piano blind. However, the stone-cold face mask or cast and the guy's face, which is turned up as if he is extremely uncomfortable, make the whole thing quite unsettling. The channel itself has a couple of other weird videos which haven't gained much attention but are unsettling all the same. SpongeBob Cave Eaten Alive. The SpongeBob Cave Eaten Alive video is pretty much what the title says, but creepier. It starts with a badly disfigured SpongeBob with bloodshot eyes excitedly running into a cave, his face shapeshifting as he moves. The SpongeBob theme song, which is also distorted, plays in the background. Then, out of nowhere, a huge sea monster appears and SpongeBob starts running for his life. Unfortunately, he is swallowed alive by the massive eel outside the cave before the video fades to black. Now, while SpongeBob Cave Eaten Alive isn't particularly creepy, the really bad CGI, the shape-shifting SpongeBob, and the disturbing theme song make this one of those videos that probably should, remain in the darkest parts of the internet. That said, the video's creator, who goes by the name String Anime, is no stranger to weird content and has some other pretty gross videos on his channel. The Auti Sim game. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to be an autistic person, this entry might give you an idea. Auti Sim is a short first-person game made to help you understand what sensory overload can feel like for some individuals with autism. Created in 2013 by Taylan Kadaif Kyaoglu during a hackathon in Vancouver. This game immerses you in a children's playground and requires you to navigate through it. As you walk closer to groups of noisy children, the sounds become loud and distorted. You hear screeching, chatter, and static. At the same time, your vision blurs and shakes, making it hard to see clearly. The closer you get to the noise, the worse it gets. This experience is meant to simulate what sensory overload might feel like, when everyday sights and sounds become too much to handle. There's no mission or goal in Auti Sim. You don't collect points or win anything. The purpose is to help neurotypical players, people who aren't on the autism spectrum, experience just a small part of what some autistic people go through every day. While the game has been praised for helping others understand hidden struggle, some autistic players felt it didn't capture the full experience of autism. Some players have since compared it to a horror game because of how unsettling it feels. Why do you think they call it dope? A time when people leveraged fear to make loved ones quit drugs really existed, and this video is proof. By turning to creepy visuals and sounds to leave a strong impression. This disturbing 1970 public service announcement tries to scare viewers away from drug use, especially heroin. The video starts off subtly with a wind-up monkey toy clapping its cymbals while a soothing child's voice speaks in the background. But then everything changes. Suddenly, the toy monkey stops moving and the camera zooms in on its face. Then a real-life image of a screaming monkey, accompanied by a loud, harsh monkey scream, is unleashed upon you. The people behind it now believe they've scared you enough and you've quit drugs, but just for good measure, there's an important message for you on the screen. That is, if you can catch your breath. Today, this video is remembered for being creepy and intense, showing how far some campaigns went to send their message. Alright guys, that was Layer 1. Layer 2 is going to get a little bit worse, so make sure you have a bottle of water, a glass of water, maybe a snack. Get comfy, pull that blanket up, and let's get into Layer 2. Adult Dolly Dress-Ups.wmv. Explicit horror or violence isn't all it takes to give a video a surreal and creepy vibe. And if you don't agree, this video might just change your mind. I find this video disturbing for 3 reasons. The costume, the movements, and the overall presentation. For many viewers, the fact that there's no context and explanation also adds to its mysterious and eerie quality, as, at best, it leaves you wondering, what's the intention here? And that question really hits home when you consider the choice of music. Nat D. Ayers' 1911 Oh You Beautiful Doll. I mean, the doll is anything but beautiful, so what's going on? Regardless, the doll dances all the way to 1 minute and 2 seconds, but not before something weird happens from 56 seconds onward. Meat Sleep. Sometime in 2014, a YouTube channel known as Meat Sleep uploaded a bunch of highly unsettling clips. Many of the videos were only a couple seconds long, grainy, and shot in low resolution. However, the strange and incoherent editing managed to create a nightmarish atmosphere for viewers. Even creepier were some clips of random people, like this video of what looks like a kid playing in their backyard. Then, in a twist, only a year after Meat Sleep started uploading the bizarre videos, they started deleting and re-uploading many of them before posting what would be the final video titled No More. Then they deleted everything from the channel and disappeared, leaving everyone to wonder who Meat Sleep was and where they went. I started digging, and the story of Meat Sleep only gets darker. As it turns out, Meat Sleep had another identity, Sonekin. Unfortunately, Sonekin passed away in December 2021, as one of her relatives confirmed through her Twitter account, thus leaving the world with no explanation as to why she made those videos or even why she erased everything. However, you can still find her work on YouTube on Meat Sleep Archives. That is, if you want to not be able to sleep after. You Are an Idiot. You Are an Idiot was a creepy and annoying website that became well known in the early 2000s. When you visited the site, a big message popped up saying, "You are an idiot," along with loud, repeating laughter. If you tried to close the window, more pop-ups would appear again and again. No matter what you did, it just wouldn't stop, and with time, your computer would slow down or crash. On some versions of the site, even pressing Ctrl-Alt-Delete or using Task Manager to close the browser would fail, forcing users to hard restart their computer. The website used a trick called a fork bomb. This is a type of code that repeats itself over and over until it uses up all of a computer's power. It worked mostly on older web browsers like Internet Explorer, which didn't have good security or pop-up blockers back then. Even though it was very annoying, You Are an Idiot didn't actually harm your files. Still, it scared many users who didn't know what was happening, making them think their computer was broken or had a virus. The original prank first appeared in 2002 on a site called youdon'tknowwhoiam.org. In 2004, the domain youareanidiot.org was created as a mirror of the original site. Over time, many versions of the prank spread online. Today, the original website is gone, but copies still exist for people to look at. Don't worry though, because thanks to modern browsers, these kinds of tricks don't work as easily anymore. 2H32. If you are interested in channels that focus on eerie, mysterious, and atmospheric horror content, 2H32 is worth exploring. It produces videos that often feature distorted visuals and cryptic messages, typical of analog horror or experimental horror genres. The name 2H32 comes from the countdown format the channel employs. Each video is 2 minutes 32 seconds and starts at 2:30 a.m. and ends at, you guessed it, 2:32 a.m. The videos showcase different locations, each featuring footage resembling found footage or analog horror tapes. Besides their creepy vibe, the videos are often low quality with grainy visuals and unsettling sound design. But don't come to this channel expecting straightforward scares. Its content tends to be abstract and open to interpretation, which creates unease and mystery around the videos. Pamtree. Pamtree is a popular YouTube channel that has come to be known for its surreal, unsettling, and sometimes comedic animated parodies of popular shows and movies. Think of popular animated shows like SpongeBob, Family Guy, and Rick and Morty, but in darkly humorous or nightmarish situations. The videos on this channel are made to be purposefully crude and bizarre, with what you'd only characterize as bad CGI. You could say Pamtree videos blur the line between horror and comedy, and you don't know where to be terrified, disturbed, or oddly entertained. One thing, however, is that you'll never see your favorite animated sitcom the same again after a trip down Pamtree. In spite of the cryptic nature of the channel and the unpredictable, offbeat, humorous, and deeply unsettling videos, Pamtree has built a following of nearly 1 million on YouTube. Broken Screen. Broken Screen, which was uploaded to YouTube by creator Brandon Murphy about 15 years ago, is one of the most puzzling videos I have come across in my research for this iceberg. It is exactly the kind of thing you don't want to watch at night. You know, like the opposite of those rain videos you can listen to fall asleep. The entire 1 minute and 7 seconds of this video is a bunch of dark, mysterious, abstract images, layered with flashing white light and creepy background music. Watching it gives you a deeply eerie feeling, and you wait for something terrifying to jump out of your screen. However, it never does, and instead, it stretches out the feeling of dread to the end. I tried to find more about this video, but no one really knows the origin of the video. And the channel itself only has 3 videos, including Broken Screen and another similarly creepy video titled Face. The 3rd video, which is strangely about a fidget spinner, was uploaded to the channel over 7 years ago. Since then, Murphy hasn't uploaded anything or explained to anyone what Broken Screen was supposed to mean, making Broken Screen one of the creepiest clips on the internet. Bedfellows. Bedfellows is a short horror film that first appeared on YouTube in 2008. The entire film is just 2 minutes long. However, it became popular among the horror genre community for the deeply unsettling and suspenseful atmosphere it creates in such a short span. Bedfellows begins with what looks like a couple sleeping in their bed at night. Their sleep is, however, interrupted by the phone ringing, and the wife taps her husband to pass her the phone, but he doesn't move. So she wakes up, grabs the phone, and answers it. To her utter shock, the person on the other end of the phone is actually her husband, who had stepped out for a walk but had locked himself out and was at the door, not the mysterious being lying next to her. Bedfellows was absolutely terrifying when it first came out, and even though it has since faded to an obscure part of YouTube, it is still super unsettling even today because it explores a profoundly human fear. The fear of intimacy, or, if you like, the fear of getting too close to someone else. It actually makes you wonder, do I really know the person that I'm sleeping next to? Alright, and that was the end of Layer 2. Stay safe, keep snacking on whatever you're eating if you're eating, keep drinking water, and stay hydrated as we delve into Layer 3. Manny. I don't know about you, but stop motion animation has always been creepy to me. The dreamlike atmosphere, the jerky movements of the mannequins, and the weird, imperfect faces of stop motion dolls are just unsettling. So when you combine stop motion with horror, things get a lot creepier. Manny, a stop motion animation created by Adam Rosenberg, is probably one of the most disturbing stop motion animations you'll find on the internet. That is aside from Crooked Rot, which interestingly inspired Rosenberg to create his own piece. Manny begins with frames of what looks like random objects in a room with creepy music playing in the background. Then attention shifts to close-ups of a mannequin head resting on a table. We see the hair, eyes, and even lips of the face, which are in perfect shape. But then, as you keep watching, things start to get dark. Then the head's eyes suddenly look up and straight ahead, and the mouth literally tears itself on either side before letting out an unnerving sound. From this point, the film starts to get even more weird. You just have to watch it for yourself. The mannequin's head goes through a series of horrific events, including having a faucet lodged into its forehead and blood water gushing out of it. As if that's not enough, a string emerges from the hole left behind by the faucet and sews the mannequin's mouth shut. And then... I did expect things to get even more disturbing, that scream got me. At the end of the creepy 5-minute film, only a bare shell of the burned up mannequin head is left. Animal with Human Head. Animal with Human Head is a scary video compilation that posted to YouTube in July 2008, although there could be earlier versions of it. It follows what looks like science experiments of human and animal breeding that went horribly wrong, and the result is something from your worst nightmare. The creepy faces, along with the poor quality of the footage, and the fact that the creatures are kept in cages for human entertainment is what makes this video truly unsettling. Now, I thought a dog or octopus with a human head was creepy until I saw the fish-man combo. And I don't know what's worse, that or the bird with a human head. Luckily, the video was later revealed to be fake, obviously. However, it still ranks high on my list of the most disturbing things on the internet. I think especially the poor quality of it really adds to it. And it makes you think about the possibility of such phenomena, especially with advancements in technology. Could humans really mutate with animals? Is this what they would possibly look like? It reminds me of that Tusk movie. You have to wonder what was really going through the mind of whoever made this video, though. Daddy Longlegs spiders in a tree. Daddy Longlegs, formerly known as Folklore, is a brown spider with a small body and long legs that can easily snap off if mishandled. This type of spider likes to live in colonies, with one family containing nearly 2,000 individual insects. The unsettling video, which first appeared on YouTube in 2008, shows a person disturbing a nest of daddy longlegs. One by one, the spiders start to come out the nest, and suddenly, there are dozens of the long-legged creatures walking towards the camera. Honestly, even if you don't have arachnophobia, this footage is highly disturbing. From the angle the camera is set up, which makes you feel like the spiders are falling on you, to the fact that the guy filming the whole thing is poking a bunch of scary-looking spiders with nothing more than a small stick. Dollface. This 2005 animated film by Andrew Huang is among a select few that managed to deliver shock value and caution. It is visually striking, combining motion capture and computer-generated imagery. Most of all, everything is weaved together into a haunting, coherent narrative that centers around a mechanical protagonist. The action starts with an old TV set appearing on the screen, followed by a silver treasure box. From this box emerges the protagonist, a robotic figure with a blank, doll-like face characterized by cold, gray features and deep, black, void-like eyes. As the narrative progresses, the robot notices a television screen displaying the image of a beautiful woman. The robot becomes transfixed by this idealized female visage appearing on the malfunctioning TV set. It then begins a process of self-modification, attempting to recreate itself in the image it sees on the screen. Using its mechanical arms, it starts applying bright-colored lipstick and makeup. As the robot continues its transformation, the television screen begins to move away from the robot's mechanical body. When it stops, it shows a different woman, forcing the robot to stretch within reach. The robot now wants to modify itself in the image of the new woman, and even implants an eye into the left side of the face. But just when the robot achieves the new look, the TV moves back further, making it difficult for the robot to use the screen as a mirror. Despite this challenge, the robot remains determined to complete its transformation. In its desperate attempt to reach the retreating image, the robot stretches its frail body to the limit. The machine extends itself beyond its physical capabilities, straining to maintain contact with the ideal it's trying to emulate. The climax occurs then when the robot makes a final leap towards perfection, overreaching its limitations. By the time you reach this disturbing ending, you'll probably have an idea of what this film is all about. Many viewers agree it serves as a metaphor for how individuals modify themselves, both psychologically and physically, to reflect idealized images presented in the media. The self-destruction of the protagonist cautions against reaching for media-driven beauty standards. It also brings to light the insidious effects of mass media and social media on identity and self-image. Henry Eats. What did I just watch is exactly what you'll be saying by the end of this video. One of Ben Wheel's earliest works, this 2003 animation boasts a terrifying trifecta of bizarre visuals, a creepy atmosphere, and an ambiguous narrative. After the title screen, the video cuts to a disturbing scene where a head-like creature munches on totem pole heads. Soon we're introduced to Henry, a depressed humanoid figure who sits by a window all day, staring outside. While his body seems lifeless, he remains passive as weird stuff happens around him. Specifically, a drone-like creature comes on screen and collects fluids from Henry's head, and fills a cup with the fluids. A monster then appears, grabs a straw in its hand, and then does something chilling. Drinks the fluids in the cup. Strangely, Henry neither reacts nor resists, implying that this process is routine. We also see another character, an armless white crocodile-like monster, enter the scene. Seconds later, it does something gruesome to both the feeding monstrosity and Henry himself. Despite losing his head, Henry's body remains seated by the window, unmoving and indifferent. I've researched a lot on what this video might mean, and the best answer I've come across is that it's a metaphor for emotional numbness. Viewers suggest that Henry's lack of reaction to being exploited or harmed reflects deep apathy or depression. Surely, if the events and themes explored in the video don't get you, the lack of dialogue and eerie sound effects will. Onkel Saft. Onkel Saft is one of the most mysterious and eerie channels I came across while doing this iceberg. Not only does the channel just have 4 videos, but they were all uploaded 13 years ago before the owner disappeared. I kid you not, there has not been any activity on this channel for over a decade. The videos that are on the channel, however, are as cryptic as they are disturbing. Most of them start off with what looks like a beautiful setting, like the Larkendal Stadion in Norway, which is the home ground for the Rosenborg BK football club. With accompanying football commentary in the background, you'd think this video is all about celebrating the sport of football, or soccer for my American viewers. However, a couple of seconds into the video, things take a dark and twisted turn, and suddenly there are over a dozen naked men dancing to some kind of weird dubstep music in the background. I know, I got your attention now, right? Pretty much all 4 videos deteriorate to the same thing. Naked men dancing in disturbing positions. And the creepy music, yeah, that too is consistent in all the videos. The most disturbing part is that the people in the video are actually real people and not some kind of animation or CGI. So far, I haven't found out who's behind the channel, but I suspect it could be a collective effort rather than just one person behind it. So that was layer 3, some very crazy things. So if you need a break, go take one and drink some water, eat, get in some exercise, etc. The next layer and layers after it are more disturbing things and darker things. Buckle up for the rest of the ride, and let's get on with layer 4. Boys Vert. Styled as _boysvert or @_boysvert163, this is one of the most popular analog horror channels on YouTube with a subscriber count of more than 400,000 and 29 videos uploaded so far. It is also one of the most disturbing, with many viewers pointing out how uneasy it made them feel. The videos follow a protagonist who struggles with mental illness. The character's struggles are described in a dark and twisted manner, using horror imagery with creepy sounds, or sometimes songs. The narratives, which are often non-linear with elements of an ARG, center around real-life themes like isolation, loneliness, depression, and anxiety, which is what makes it all the more uncomfortable. What is consistent in all these videos is the depiction of mental health as a daily and ongoing process of coping, rather than something that needs a simple resolution. While I get that there are people who find this kind of content relatable, you have to admit, a few videos in, the fear, anxiety, and paranoia that the character is fighting start to creep up on you. Petscop. No other YouTube web series has managed to unsettle viewers more than Tony Domenico's Petscop. Spanning 24 episodes released between March 12, 2017 and September 2nd, 2019, the series begins as a seemingly innocent let's play of the titular Petscop, a fictional 1997 PlayStation game. Featuring a narrator named Paul documenting the whole game, Petscop gets only more disturbing from here on out. Soon, he discovers hidden areas, darker themes, and even disturbing things related to his life and family. Then there's the Newmaker Plane, a hidden area with a disturbing connection. According to many viewers, it references Candace Newmaker, a child who died during a controversial rebirthing therapy session. Petscop also delves into dark themes with Care's story. Care is a recurring character representing a deeply traumatized child who was kidnapped by her father after a divorce and endured abuse and neglect before escaping. Within the game, her trauma is mirrored in how she's treated, caught like a pet, and stored in the child library. Paul also deciphers cryptic notes and puzzles throughout the game. Many clues seem to reference personal or real-world events, creating an unsettling connection between the fictional game and reality. But despite its chilling nature, Petscop is considered one of the most innovative examples of fiction presented as reality on YouTube and, well, the internet at large. Robert Helpman. If you're into the macabre, then this unsettling channel centered on a dead girl named Daisy is right up your alley. It consists of 12 videos, all black and white, and was uploaded on July 12, 2015, within the span of an hour. The first video, titled Daisy Arrives, shows an empty chair before Daisy, corpse, comes into view wrapped in a trash bag. Just before Daisy appeared on screen, jumbled words flashed, all while reverse audio is playing. Subsequent videos also have this in common, albeit while depicting Daisy's corpse in various mundane situations. It's sometimes seen sitting at a table, being tucked into bed, or feeding the birds. But what makes everything bizarre is the description. They often frame these scenes as if Daisy is simply going about daily life, as if it's oblivious to her obvious lifelessness. In the fifth video, titled Daisy Unwinds, we see another character, the Masked Man, feeding Daisy in a bathtub. In the seventh video, Daisy Tumble, he appears again, this time picking up Daisy after she seemingly falls down a flight of stairs. Things quickly take a darker turn from here. In video 10, Daisy Playing, the Masked Man appears and stands in place, holding a rusty knife until 20 seconds pass. He then starts stabbing Daisy in a sped-up clip. The next video shows the Masked Man bringing Daisy to the kitchen and untying her. In the final video, Daisy Leaves, we see her lying in front of the door, seemingly having had enough of the Masked Man's antics. At this point, there's only one thing left for her to do. The video ends with the Masked Man visibly upset, shaking from head to toe. I made 4 observations regarding this. First, the name Daisy appears in every video title, description, and tag. Second, one of the recurring audio tracks is an old, creepy recording of Santa Claus speaking to children played in reverse. Third, the name Robert Helpman matches that of a historical actor and dancer known for playing villainous roles, which I feel may be a deliberate choice to add to the channel's eerie mystique. Fourth, each video contains flashes of seemingly random words. When pieced together, these words form the poem The Gay Lady, also known as There Was a Lady All Skin and Bone. This centuries-old poem is about a woman who encounters a corpse in a church and is told she will one day look the same. The channel has never uploaded videos beyond the initial 12. However, 2 were removed, and now only 10 remain. 0101010000000001. On the surface, this video doesn't seem like much. You could watch the entire 28 seconds of it, not get a thing, and move on with your life like nothing happened. However, when you get the context, this video makes a little sense. Uploaded on March 7th, 2015, this is the first listed video on the Knock+10 channel, later known for posting videos named with binary codes representing the letter U. Viewers were immediately creeped out by this video due to its cryptic nature and the presence of an unusual text that viewers could not easily decipher. I later learned that this string of text leads to a broken URL as it's encoded via the Caesar cipher with a forward shift of 3. However, when you input this decoded video as a URL, things get really interesting. It leads you to the very first unlisted video on Knock+10. The titular binary code 0101010000000001 itself translates to the letter U plus an additional byte. Still, it evokes a sense of an unknown and hidden message. The cat with hands. Folk horror is a popular subgenre of horror for a reason. It combines isolated rural setting with elements of superstition, folk religion, sacrifice, and darkness, all to invoke fear and foreboding. This is the background in which the short film The Cat with Hands is set. The film begins with an old man telling a young man a chilling legend by a well about a cat that has human hands instead of paws. According to the legend, the cat uses its hands to steal body parts from humans, gradually assuming human form. The video then cuts to a bizarre stop-motion scene where the cat violently takes the boy's face, and we can only assume the boy is left in a grotesque state. Then we're taken back to the first scene where, in a shocking turn of events, we learn that the young man is the cat all along, having acquired all human parts. Well, except for the tongue. The creature eventually drags the old man away, and the next time we see it, it's mimicking the old man's way of talking. Viewers of this film would describe it as nightmare fuel because of its surreal visuals and nightmarish atmosphere that leaves you thinking about it long after the credits roll. Alright guys, let's get into layer 5 now. Mr. 112 Dirtbag. On February 9th, 2012, the YouTube user 112 Dirtbag uploaded one of the sickest videos on the internet, titled Happy Anniversary and featuring a creepy older man. People have speculated that he had some knowledge or involvement in the disappearance of Maura Murray, a college student who went missing in 2004. It's easy to see why people would think that. The maniacal laugh definitely gives the older man away, but there are 2 more reasons. First, the older man uploaded a disturbing video on February 9th, 2012, the 8th anniversary of Maura Murray's disappearance, and obviously titled it Happy Anniversary. Second, the uploader's username, 112 Dirtbag, bears a connection to Route 112, where Maura's car was found. As for the dirtbag part, it is what her father, Fred Murray, used to describe her presumed abductor or anyone involved in her disappearance. In the video, the older man continues with the crazed laugh for a concerningly extended period, before making a gesture that would make your stomach twirl. Investigations would soon reveal the man's identity as Alden Olson. However, while his behavior and choice to upload such a video on that date were deeply unsettling, authorities soon stated that Olson was actually not considered a suspect in Maura Murray's disappearance. He has been described as someone who enjoys trolling and seeking attention, particularly in connection with high-profile cases like this one. As you might expect, this revelation caused widespread outrage and fear among those following Maura Murray's case. Many believed Olsen was involved in her disappearance and was taunting them. To date, Murray's case remains unsolved, and this video remains a chilling footnote in one of the most perplexing missing persons cases in modern history. TD Suck TW KXW Ax TKM. Uploaded in 2018 by Stuart Silverstone, this video was part of a playlist of unsettling videos with cryptic descriptions containing numbers and letters as well as disturbing thumbnails. This one in particular will spook you from the start, as it shows the bizarre right from the first frame. Things begin on a high note with a zoomed-in image of a heart shaking erratically before transitioning into even more disturbing footage. Because it's sped up, you can easily miss it, but if you slow it down, the footage reveals its true horror. A man is seen hitting the head of a person inside a canvas bag in a bathtub using a handgun. The person in the bathtub is then revealed to be wearing a red mask resembling traditional Japanese demon art, despite being already covered by the canvas bag. Throughout the video, there are abrupt cuts between scenes. For example, a blaring red light, a concrete wall, and the person in the bathtub moving before fading to black. YouTube has since removed this video due to its graphic nature, but I managed to dig it up just for you. I also learned something shocking in the process. The video might have been connected to a cult that was shut down in the 1980s. But what unsettled me the most was learning that the cult might still be active today. There's no denying that the video has terrified everyone across the divide. However, while some people have been so fearful that they reported it to authorities, others have been skeptical. This team suggests that it might be staged or edited for shock value. They even go as far as to claim that it's part of an elaborate ARG designed to provoke fear and intrigue. Dead Kids Foundation. Dread, macabre themes, and a mystery are all that await you on this YouTube channel. Don't come for anything else. Originating from the land of Vladimir Putin, this channel first gained attention in January 2009 with a chilling video titled "Many Kids Have Died Over These Years." The channel claimed this video contained a malevolent force, contributing to its status as a classic internet creepypasta. Initially linked to hijacking another early internet horror ARG called the Wyoming Incident, the Dead Kids Foundation eventually developed its own niche by creating new horror series centered on macabre themes. This channel is part of a broader phenomenon of unsettling and grotesque internet horror stories from Russia, which include other eerie digital tales like Station 922 and Station.exe. These stories blend cultural specifics with universal fears, creating a unique form of internet horror that captivates and disturbs audiences worldwide. Arsonist caught on tape. In August 1989, a father and son were traveling near Stockton, California, when their car started making strange noises. When they pulled over to check the problem, they quickly discovered they couldn't get the car moving again. They needed urgent help. As they walked around trying to find someone or a home, they stumbled upon a seemingly harmless camouflage jacket on the roadside, only that it wasn't. Inside was a wooden pestle, herbs, and a model human skull. They also found a VHS tape. Ultimately, the duo managed to get home. There, they decided to watch the VHS, unaware that its contents would shock them beyond the bizarre items found along with it. The father and his son were shocked at the VHS's contents. A house was engulfed in flames, yet the narrator, and also the suspected arsonist, was disturbingly gleeful while giving a commentary in a whispering voice. His speech was punctuated by frenzied breathing, crazed laughter, and sadistic delight at the destruction. On top of that, he taunted the fire department and boasted about his ability to start fires. Terrified and concerned, the family turned over the tape pretty soon to the authorities. The narrator was immediately identified as the probable arsonist, of course, because of his reaction in the VHS. However, arresting the suspect wasn't easy. The case had to be highlighted on the TV show Unsolved Mysteries to help reach a wider audience and generate more tips. Eventually, it worked, and 2 suspects, aged 17 and 19, were arrested. The latter soon admitted to setting the fires. When the teens were arrested, a bizarre cache of tapes with headlines about the various fires they had started was discovered. They had chronicled over 60 arsons as proof of their unreserved depravity. The duo had also taped themselves in scary vampire and werewolf costumes. This video is often cited as one of the creepiest real-life crime recordings, both for its disturbing content and the arsonist's unhinged narration. And that's the end of the iceberg. Thank you guys for watching this far. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please have a great night. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Patreon for exclusive videos, and above all, sweet dreams.